This is Boxing Talk 8576, man. This is I want to talk about. I seen Jay Cotto video on Deontay Wilder, and he made some good points, man. I'm a Wilder. I like Wilder and I like Joshua. I like both of them, man. I don't see why people don't like both of them. Both of the guys are giving you entertainment, and both of them are giving you the ultimate result. And the ultimate result is a knockout. You know, Joshua knocked out everybody he faced. Wilder has now knocked out everybody he's faced when he fought Stavern. And I didn't like the Stavern fight. I'm gonna be honest with you. When they announced the fight, I didn't like the fight. I still didn't like the fight. I still don't like the fight because I didn't think the fight had no significance. So I agree with Jay Cotto on that. No, the fight didn't have any significance. The only good thing about the fight was Deontay Wilder got to knock out a guy that he didn't knock out, you know, the first time, so he can say he knocked out everybody on his, you know what I'm saying, on his record. But I was wildly entertained, man. That's one thing when you look at boxing, you want to be entertained. You know what I'm saying? You want the fighters to entertain you in a way that you are, you just come off your seat, you just surprised of what happened. I expected him to beat Stavern. I didn't expect him to knock him out in the first round. And the fight was weird in this sense. Stavern showed no desire to fight. In the press conference, well, I know everybody talked crazy in the press conference, but he said that he's going to come forward throwing punches. So I know Wilder had a good jab in his face, but that won't deter you from coming forward. He didn't even come forward, man. To me, he didn't even try. I don't even know if the man threw a punch. I don't even remember. The fight was so quick and so decisive. I didn't even realize if Stavern threw a punch. I know some people say he threw one or two. I don't even remember one or two. And to me, that's looking kind of iffy, man. If this man didn't even throw a punch, this man didn't even try. But going off of what Jay Cotto said, he said that what I said, but how in the world Bermain Stavern was a mandatory and he hasn't fought in 2 years. And if he was gonna be the mandatory for Deontay Wilder's belt, he should have been a mandatory 3 years ago. That fight should have went on 3 years ago. This is like 3 years later and he's still a fucking mandatory. That's the corruption in boxing, man. Like, that's some crazy deep corruption that this man is still a fucking mandatory. Wilder should not have to fight this man as a mandatory. Now, if Wilder wanted to fight him just because he wanted to fight him, because he wanted to knock the guy out that he hasn't knocked out on his record, the only guy that survived 12 rounds with him, that's fine. But for the WBC to make him a mandatory, I'm pretty sure it's 20, 30 fighters in front of Bermain Stavern that Wilder should have been mandatory to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree with Jay Cotto on that point. Now, I think the fact that I know Wilder's fighting style. Now, I've been critical of Wilder's fighting style. Now, Wilder is never going to be a technical, polished fighter. I think that will never happen. Now, can he do things in the ring to hide his deficiencies, like other fighters have deficiencies? Yeah, he can hide them, and the way to do that is to get on that jab. You know what I'm saying? Wilder has a good jab when he uses it and hides the right hand, and that's what makes him very, very dangerous. Another thing, fighters cannot really get away from Wilder because he has ring coverage, which he can hit you from across the ring. Like, he doesn't have to be up on you to hit you, and that's going to be very, you know what I'm saying, very hard for a fighter like Joshua, because Joshua don't move. Joshua is really a in the pocket fighter. You know what I'm saying? And then, to me, in order to give Wilder problems, like really serious problems, to me, you have to have an inside game. Joshua don't have an inside game. He don't have a desire to fight on the inside. Neither one of these guys have a desire to fight on the inside. Both of these guys are outside fighters. You know what I'm saying? Both of these guys want to land their punches, you know, with extended range. You know what I'm saying? Joshua is more of a you know what I'm saying, closer fighter than Wilder, but he's not an inside fighter. But you know, that's just my opinion. But it seemed like, but see, I know I disagree with Jay Cotto on this sense. Wilder didn't want to fight Stavern either. He was trying to fight everybody else but Stavern for the last year. So he didn't want to fight Stavern either. He even said that he was looking through Stavern like looking through a window. So he was not bigging up Stavern like Stavern was this great challenge. He told you that I'm going to knock him out. I didn't want to fight him anyway. I was looking through him like a glass window. So I give Wilder, you know what I'm saying, credit on that he wasn't trying to sound like Wilder, like Romain Stavern was going to be this big challenge. You know what I'm saying? He even said that he wasn't a big challenge. So is he jealous of Joshua? I think Wilder got some jealousy towards Joshua. You know what I'm saying? Joshua in 19 fights, you know, became, well, in what, 16 fights is when he beat Charles Martin. Martin, was it like 16 or 15 fights he had when he beat Charles Martin? So Joshua's career has accelerated faster than Wilder. Wilder was like his 30 or something fight before he won a title. But that's Wilder's fault, and that's Wilder's handler's fault. You know what I'm saying? Wilder could have had the fight with Klitschko a while ago if they would have fought the right people and got Wilder in a position to fight Klitschko. And you know what I'm saying? So him being jealous of Joshua, that's, you know what I'm saying, that's Wilder's fault. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree that people that are really hardcore Wilder fans are mad at Joshua. Eddie Hearn did better than Wilder handlers. He got him accelerated to a championship, you know what I'm saying, with Martin by his 15 fight, and by his 18 fight, 18 fight, he was fighting Klitschko. So, you know what I'm saying, that's you got to applaud Eddie Hearn on that. But yeah, man, these guys just got to get in the ring and fight, man. These guys got to get in the ring, man, and fight and prove to see who's the best heavyweight between these two guys. And another thing, we cannot let these guys off the hook as far as stretching out this fight, man. This fight cannot be stretched out to 2020, man. I know Joshua probably gonna have some mandatories, and yes, he should be able to take care of his mandatories. Take care of his mandatories so he won't get stripped. You know what I'm saying? Or if he could pay them step aside money, do that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the Luis Ortiz thing is, Luis Ortiz got popped already for you know what I'm saying, performance enhancing drugs. And when he filled out his, I mean, come on, you say he filled out his paperwork wrong. How can you forget that you got high blood pressure and don't put that on there? To me, that's something that Luis Ortiz should have, that's what been the first thing he should have put on there. I got high blood pressure, I'm taking high blood pressure medicine. I think Luis Ortiz was trying to be slick and just got caught, man. And you said the WBC didn't suspend him. I don't know if they suspended him or not. Maybe they didn't. You know, I know the WBA took him off the rankings, but he should have been suspended by the WBC. Like, this is your second infraction, man. I mean, how many infractions do you have to have? And yes, I would still like to see Deontay Wilder fight Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz got to, you know, be in the drug protocol, and everything has to be right. And yeah, I would love to see him fight. I would love to see him fight Dillian Whyte, because ultimately, this is a heavyweight division. Nobody can go anywhere. I mean, there's nowhere to hide. I mean, you can't hide, man. I mean, all these guys should be able to have a round robin and fight each other anyway. Him fighting Dillian Whyte, to me, that's a good fight. Fight Dillian Whyte. Don't wait on Joshua, because if Joshua don't want to fight right now, you can't pull a motherfucker in the ring to fight you. Fight everybody else around him. Pin him in a corner, and then when there's nobody else left, y'all have to fight. So, you know what I'm saying? I just I like both fighters. I'm just out on I gave Joshua the edge. I used to always give Joshua the edge because Joshua technique, man. But Joshua be getting tired in the ring, man. I cannot mess around with that stamina stuff, man. Joshua got tired against Klitschko, almost cost him the fight. He got tired in his last fight against his guy Takum, And look, man, Joshua already is a big guy. He got too much muscle mass on him. Like I said, like I've been saying. And before it showed up, I knew it was going to show up. I didn't know what fight it was going to show up in, but I knew eventually he was going to show some stamina issues with all that muscle mass. He has to lose some muscle mass. But you know what I'm saying? This is Boxing Talk 8576. I was just, you know what I'm saying, talking, responding to Jay Cotto, man. I haven't heard him in a while. I like his channel. This is Boxing Talk 8576. I'm out.